In this lesson, we're going to be creating a transition for our school of fish to interact with our text. Okay, so right where we left off last time, right about here, we said this is where it looks like the fish come into the same plane as this text. So let's go ahead and open up the keyframes for this text. I'm just going to shrink that back down. And what I want to happen is basically a reverse of everything that happened up until that point with the text. So I'm just going to copy these keyframes. Just hit Control-C, Control-V to copy and paste. And we want those to be pasted just right about, let's move forward just a bit. Let's say just right about here. So I'll move those backwards in case they're too far forwards. Just like that. And the only reason why it pasted so far later is because our current time indicator was lined up with this keyframe right here. So let's just go ahead and we'll pull this forward. So all of these are going to be on the same point on our current time indicator. Perfect. Okay, so now what we want to do is just scrub forward a little bit, just right about where those fish also move off of the comp, and we'll copy and paste that first set of keyframes. So go ahead, grab all of those, hit Control-C, and then Control-V, and they'll be pasted to the current time indicator. Really, really great. So this just kind of makes it look like the text came off in a very different way than it entered. And if you really want to change things up, you can come here right onto this keyframe before the change happens. Come up here to your text. We'll just hit Control-Shift-D, and that's going to basically cause a break in that text. And now we can change the seed so they'll actually exit off in a different way than they sucked on to that line. You can kind of see how that happens right there. So that O becomes really prominent. And again, the O is very prominent on this one. So we can change that just by changing the seed of this second layer. And you'll never know the difference because it happens when the text is completely still. So let's just toggle that down. We'll just go ahead and open up some of these options. Just pull this up here so we can see everything a little bit better. Open up that wiggly selector. And you got random seed right there. So we'll just go ahead and change that. And now, when they start to move away, you get a totally different breakup than what we had before. Now you may need to change it so that that scale still works for this. So let's just go back down here after the fact that that S and the H should be gone and just change the seed until we get one that has all of our letters off the comp. So right there, seed 77 is working for me. Now that looks like maybe causes comes off in a little bit of a strange way. Let's just watch a RAM preview to see if we like the way that it looks. So just hit the 0 key to preview that, and it may take a bit to preview this. It might be a little too complex, so I'll pause it so you don't have to watch that.
So, you may ask, what are some of the causes of the damage? Well, there's ocean acidification.
Okay, so this is looking good, but I think that maybe we could still find a different seed that looks even better. So again, I'm just going to scrub past this and just choose a different seed. Let's see what this one looks like. I think that's a little bit better. So you could continue playing with this until you find something that you're really happy with. This might be a little bit strange that the H almost looks like it's being duplicated. So again, the seed doesn't change the actual behavior of the letters. It only changes the way that they are animating out. So it just changes kind of the randomness. That one looks really good. I'm really happy with that one. So this one still feels like it's floating around with the fish. And one thing I think we could do is maybe even just go a little bit further and have maybe some of the text remain even after the fish have gone. So if you want to do that, you can select the layer, hit the U key, and just pull it forward a tiny bit more. So just kind of like that. And you may need to increase the scale just a little bit because I'm noticing there's a little tiny bit of a letter, but it's not enough to just go in and have to find a completely different seed. Really nice. So once you're happy with the way that that looks, you're ready to move on to the next part of our animation, which is going to be showing some of the causes right here in the middle. And we have some really nice icons for those that were part of the printed infographic and part of just that other course where we designed the infographic in the first place. So stick around and I'm going to show you how to bring on those pieces in the next lesson.